house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What up?
We've got Bam in the control booth.
Hello.
Episode 232. This is college football week 3, NFL week 2. We have a lot to break down, a lot to recap. First week back in the NFL. We're going to break down a brutal start to our first week in the Circa Millions contest, a very unlucky week on a number of fronts. But hit that like and subscribe button. Episode 232. I'm feeling good from a betting perspective, not a contest perspective, but I feel like I had a good week. Very nearly could have been a significantly better week. But a lot to get into. We'll start with the Saints. Give me your thoughts on, not from a betting perspective, because not the outcome we were looking for. Saints lose by 7 to the Cardinals. Opening game. First game of Kellen Moore's tenure. What would you grade it as a whole? Not for him, not for the entire thing. A to an F.
Probably a C. I think, so what I was expecting, I'm a little higher on the Saints than most people, and the way the game went, I kind of think that reaffirms my thoughts about the team, but even though they didn't cover, but I felt like they had chances. They were just a little bit too conservative.
Yeah, I agree. And so that's a good point. The how conservative we were brings us to the hottest topic, I guess, from the entire day was Kellen Moore's refusal to call his timeouts at the end of the first half. Cardinals are clearly going to score inside the 5 or 10 yard line, and they're milking clock. He said they did a good job of milking clock. I don't even know how you necessarily do a good job at that other than just wait to fucking call the play. He didn't want to call his timeouts, which clearly tells me that he doesn't trust Spencer Rattler, or at least the offense as a whole, but by default, that means he doesn't trust Spencer Rattler. He was worried that we were going to go 3 and out and give the ball right back to the Cardinals with time to go score again. I don't like that. I felt like, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because my biggest pet peeve is coaches that mismanage the clock. But maybe he wasn't mismanaging it and he was just doing what he felt like was best to keep the game close. But then, so I guess the question is, are you trying to keep games close or are you trying to win?
Yeah. I don't know. One of the announcers was like, maybe he didn't want to call timeout in the event that it kept time on the clock and then the Cardinals were able to use their timeouts to get another possession or something like that. But I thought the defense could have really used the timeout there.
Yeah.
Because they had their backs against the wall and they're kind of getting gashed at that point. And it would have been really nice if they would have only given up a field goal there and not a touchdown.
Yeah, but it's you can't take them with you. So fucking call them. What do you have to lose other than, like, if you go out there and be aggressive and try to take and try to go win the game. And look, I'm not an NFL coach. He knows more than I do, clearly. We had a chance to go tie that game at the end. But from a standpoint of what I just don't like I'm worried that we're going to give the ball back, so we're just going to swallow these timeouts and take them into halftime with us. It's like, call the fucking timeouts. Give them a chance. Who knows what could happen? You could get an interference call. You could break one. You could do anything and put yourself in a position for Groupie to fucking shank a 30-yarder. So I don't know. I don't like it. It seemed like a mismanagement of the clock, which is the craziest thing to me, how often these coaches do that. I understand you're down on the field. It's probably a lot more hectic than it is sitting on the couch watching the game. But time and time again, you see these head coaches mismanage clock, and it's remarkable to me. It went, as far as my grade, I would say a D+, but it went kind of how I expected it. I felt like Cam Jordan had a little bit more juice than I expected, and I felt like the defense came out at least a little fired up, and I liked the way that Staley was sending pressure, and I was pleased with that. I do feel like the game could have looked a little different if Kyler Murray hit Marvin Harrison Jr. over the middle for what probably would have been a 99-yard touchdown. I think Kool-Aid McKinstry being our number one cornerback is a fucking problem. The defense is an issue, big time, and we knew that coming in. And then offensively, I don't know. We're the worst team in football is what it boils down to. But it didn't look like – it looked like there was at least effort, though, and that's what you want to see. We don't have the guys. We don't have the talent anymore. Not that you need to compete on a high level in this league, but the effort was there. It looked like they were playing hard for him, and they were fired up. And it didn't look like a team that was just prepared to roll over. And it's week 1, I understand. But you look at, there's some teams you look at the Dolphins. Goddamn, the Dolphins have no juice at all. So, and they had way higher expectations than the Saints did. So yeah, I would. That's what I would put it at, I guess, a D+. Bam, what would you grade? You were there in the dome for the game.
Yeah, I think Rattler could use his legs a little bit more. There were a couple plays where he had it wide open for the first down. He just decided to throw it into double coverage or someone who was pretty locked up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably like C-, D+ area.
Bam,
It wasn't the most exciting thing in the world.
Well, I don't know how you would say that. We fucking had a chance to go goddamn tie the game.
The guy had that catch in his hands.
Yeah.
For the touchdown.
That was damn near as exciting as it gets for a team with zero expectations.
I mean, that part was exciting, but
Well, there's a lot of things that went wrong against the spread. It's like Groupie misses a chip shot.
Yeah.
You rarely see an NFL kicker miss from inside 40 yards. He did.
Well, when they look like a little kid out there, he looks like he looks like somebody's mom bought the box with the helmet and the jersey at like Belk. That looks like somebody got that and put it on him and took a picture in the front yard. Like I see him trot out there. I'm like, he's a little baby.
That's why last year they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah.
He said, I'm on the team. He's like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Get a juice box and fuck off. Bam texted me that morning and he was like, give me your best first touchdown bet. I'm like, Bam, it's a fucking guess. Yours is as good as mine. And I said, Kamara. And fucking Kamara scores.
and it cashed.
I was like, yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
The most obvious choice for the Saints to score a touchdown. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't have high expectations, but I as far as Rattler's performance, I felt like he did some good things. He's clearly got arm talent. He put the ball in harm's way a couple times, and he's not aggressive enough, though. He's scared to pull the trigger. There were a couple times going back and looking, it looked like Shaheed was open, and you got to fucking let it go. And I'll tell you what, I bet you Shuck would let it go. So that's the thing that he needs to figure out. I understand he doesn't want to make that critical error. But sometimes you let that bitch fly. We're supposed to lose.
Yeah, that was the thing. The Cardinals, two rookie cornerbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys played very well.
Yeah. On the flip side, LSU played Louisiana Tech in it was a funky week in college. A lot of teams were sleepwalking. LSU was one of them. The offensive line, Braylon Moore goes down with an ankle sprain, and then Trey'Dez Green with a sprained knee. Offensive line didn't look great. The offense looked out of sync. Are you hitting the panic button on LSU like everybody else on Twitter?
Not necessarily.
I'm not either. I think it's one of those you play down to your competition style games. Nussmeier did miss some throws. He's got to make the throws. Barry and Brown could have had a fucking serious game, and he missed them on a number of throws. And then you see Clemson at the same time simultaneously being down 17-0 to who were they playing? Troy. And they came back and won, but all of a sudden people are like, maybe LSU's not good and Clemson's bad, and we're sleepwalking against Louisiana Tech, and that Clemson win doesn't look as good as it did a week ago. I'm not there either. I'm not at that point either. But I do think we have a game this week that you better be ready for. You better be awake. Because Florida, fresh off the loss, like I said, it was a funky week in college football, but Billy Napier will drop a game or two pretty early in the season. but that doesn't mean you take Florida lightly. So, but yeah, so you're not hitting the panic button on LSU?
No, I just thought it was kind of a little bit concerning that we weren't able to run the ball a little bit better, but it just felt like it was like they thought it was going to be easy, and it just wasn't as easy as they thought.
Mm-hmm.
They just, it's kind of like Nussmeier trying to do a little bit too much, it seemed, in certain plays.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's see. Let's talk Sunday Night Football, and we'll get to it in the recap as well. But we saw the Ravens blow a 15-point lead with 4 minutes to go. So my question has become, is John Harbaugh the reason that the Ravens can't win at all? Some of the decision-making down there, and look, I understand he's not calling the plays and all of that. For them to blow that game against Buffalo was unbelievable, and it hurt us in a number of ways. I really was scratching my head. I just kind of laid there on the couch for fucking 20 minutes just thinking, what just happened? And then I ripped my shirt clean off my body like Hulk Hogan. I went there where I was in disbelief, and then I went into just a bit of rage. And that's because we had him in the contest, and the line flipped. The Ravens were my lock, plus 1.5. We had him in the contest, -1. So that was a critical point. Anyway, for John Harbaugh to just the whole thing. Look, there comes a time where it's time to go win the fucking football game, okay? And Josh Allen will do it against Baltimore, and then he'll play Kansas City and lose. But Lamar dirts a screen pass in a critical moment, a very easy throw. It's little things like that put you back. So then Buffalo's on this ridiculous run. So, like, it's the little things with Lamar that you think, okay, whatever, that's one throw. But it's a microcosm of what their issue is. It's lapses of concentration, or I don't know. Lamar in the postseason has had a couple turnovers every game that were careless, just throwing the ball into double coverage or fumbling at midfield because he's holding it like a loaf of bread. These are the things that are holding you back from winning Super Bowls. The Ravens have the best roster and the best team by far. They dominated Buffalo for 85% of that game. Dominated them. We're running it all over them. And then the floodgates opened of bad things happening where Derrick Henry fumbling that ball was unbelievable. You've got a tip ball into Keon Coleman's hands for a touchdown. But you get the ball back with the chance to go put it away. And I don't remember what the first down call was. I don't know if you do. But I remember the second down call. And they ran a sweep to Zay Flowers for nothing. A wasted play. You took the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. You ran a sweep to Zay Flowers. That was the dumbest fucking play call of the entire game. I couldn't believe that they did that in that moment in time. You've already watched this fucking guy fumble against Kansas City in a game you were supposed to win 2 years ago. That's not the guy I'm putting the ball in his hands to go win the fucking game. I'm going to put it in the fucking multi-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. Put him in a position to make the right decision. And then they come back and they throw it to DeAndre Hopkins after he goes and runs over to him and talks to him, basically probably saying, hey, I'm going to throw it to you on this one. He's 2 yards short, and they don't go for it. They punt it back to the guy who scored every time he's touched the fucking football. It was clear as day Buffalo was going to go score that ball. You have to go for that. It's non-negotiable. You have to go for that. You have a running back who is you averaged fucking 8 yards a carry. You have to go for that. Lamar comes out in the press conference after and says he was cramping, or else he would have pushed John Harbaugh to go for that. What the fuck are we talking about? You had to go take another shit? And he ran to the locker room? Like, what do you mean you're cramping? It's time to go win the fucking football game. How bad are you cramping? You can't get 2 yards? You sat by with a calf cramp as they punted the ball back to Josh Allen and let him go fucking be the MVP of the league? That's crazy to me. And the fact that Harbaugh, I don't care if he said he's fucking cramping. Put Derrick Henry in Wildcat then. Like, Harbaugh to punt that ball back to him. You gave them the game. It was so clear that was what was going to happen. So my question is I think it's a John Harbaugh thing at this point. Am I wrong?
No, I texted you. I said I can't believe they didn't go for it there.
You have to.
The benefit to going for it is if you fail, the chances that you get the ball back now with time goes from 0 if you punt and give it to them to having a chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, even if they pick up a first down and then you had all 3 timeouts, I think. You stop the clock, they kick the field goal, you have an opportunity now. Jair Alexander, too. Oh, my God, he fucking sucks. Everybody's like, what are the Packers doing getting rid of Jair? Oh, now they don't have to watch him wear a giant hat in the post-game press conference in his locker and say a bunch of weird-ass shit and then get burnt like fucking toast. Now he's in Baltimore doing that, and he's tackling fucking Keon Coleman when he's going in to score and make the wrong decision. You would have had an opportunity to at least do something. He fucking tackled him. That was the most frustrated I've been post-game in a long, long time. I can't believe the Ravens blew that. And you never want to be sitting on the wrong side of it as everybody's tweeting and going crazy like, oh, my God, this is incredible. Football's the best. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. I was getting messages from everybody like, oh, it was tough. Yeah, I just think at some point it comes time to win the game. And the Ravens and John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson have not done it yet. I think the Ravens are the best team in the league. I think they dominated that game. But you gave it away. I don't even know. I really don't even know how to formulate a better thought process than that.
Yeah.
Couple more things. Did y'all see the chick at the Phillies game take the ball from the kid and the dad? You didn't
fired.
You didn't see that? Where have you?
She was an employee?
No. I mean, that's the new thing. If somebody does something that you don't like, you get them fired from their job.
Oh.
So I'll set the table for you. It went viral. I don't know how you didn't see it. There was a home run in the Phillies game, I guess, and every time there's a home run, it's a free-for-all. Whoever gets the ball gets it. It's a scramble for it. I've been to one MLB game in my life. I was sitting there hoping that the fucking ball didn't get hit to me so I didn't have to try to catch with my bare hand. But if I would have got a ball, you hand it to a kid. You give it to a kid. What do you need the fucking ball for? Unless it's goddamn Aaron Judge tying the home run Roger Maris's record. Yeah, I'd fucking kill somebody for that ball. I don't even know who hit it. There's a home run ball that goes into the stands.
Harrison Bader.
Okay, Harrison. Yeah, that's right. Harrison Bader hits a home run. It's a scramble for the ball. The dad runs a few seats over, picks it up, brings it back to his kid, and then gives him a hug. And this lady comes running up out of nowhere and starts berating him. And his reaction was the problem. It's a two-parter here. She's a bitch. And then he did this exaggerated, I almost questioned if it was a skit. He was hugging his kid with his eyes closed, and she comes up and he goes like that. And this fear, shakes his arms literally like that. I was like, what the fuck is that? Whose reaction is that? So she's yelling at him, and then he just eventually takes the ball out of the kid's glove, gives it to her, and says, see you later. And they had other videos, and she's like, that was my ball. You took it from me. Huge bitch. Total bitch. They come roll out the red carpet. They bring the kid a bunch of shit. He got to go meet Harrison Bader, but they have her on video, flipping the crowd off. And that is the new thing. If you do something that people don't like, they're going to get you fired from your job. I don't know why. Why'd they fire her?
I have no idea.
What did she do? I could look at her in 2 seconds. I bet you she did some shit teaching kids.
I think she was a teacher.
She's got the look.
Yeah.
And that's not good. That's not who you want teaching the kids. But it is funny, though.
The kid and his family also got World Series tickets.
Oh, that's sick. Jesus Christ. Thanks, lady. Enjoy that worthless ball from Harrison Bader. The moral of the story is don't be a piece of shit. The first thing you should do if you get a home run ball, if you're an adult, one, I don't know, Bam, you're an avid baseball goer when you lived in St. Louis. Did you bring a glove?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you look like somebody would have brought a glove.
But I have caught 2 balls, gave them both to kids.
Good. That's what you're supposed to do. Give it to a fucking kid. Give it to a kid. It's a baseball game. Like I said, unless this is a $1 million ball, I'd beat the shit out of a kid for that ball, for Judge's Roger Maris home run tying ball. Other than that, you hand it to a kid, you go about your day. This lady, it's like good. She got fired. Like, huge bitch. It is weird to me that is the new thing. Like, if you do something and people don't like you on social media, then your job will just fire you. It's like, I do it. Like, she could do a great job. Yeah. And she just wanted that home run ball at the Phillies game. They're like, well, we got to let you go. We're under fire on Twitter. But yeah, so that went mega viral. Just give the ball to a fucking kid. Let's talk last thing, and then we'll get to the recap. No, two more things, actually. We'll go with this one first. The NFL and Mr. Beast partnered. You saw that?
I kind of heard about it.
Well, what do you mean? Did you watch the fucking Friday game?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Okay. We had a damn contest.
But I think I was watching college football.
What was the Friday game? That was, yeah.
It was on YouTube.
Yeah. What, do you not have it?
No, I did.
This is our first play of the contest.
But I was kind of keeping an eye on that. But what game do we have on Friday?
Louisville.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Okay, well, the Chargers are a fucking big game too. Anyway, the NFL partnered with Mr. Beast, I guess, because they signed this big deal with YouTube. And my question is, who the fuck asked for Mr. Beast to be partnered with the NFL? And I'll preface with this. I understand they know that people like us are going to watch. They're trying to get kids to come in and watch Mr. Beast throw the tiny Chargers planted fan into a cannon and throw her into the water. And we're doing whatever the fuck we're doing, dude. Mr. Beast.
This was before the game?
It was before, during, and after. It was the trifecta. And you get to see Mr. Beast come up there clearly on Ozempic with the worst fake teeth in the history of mankind. Paid good money for those veneers to stand straight out into your face. What are we doing? What are we doing? Who asked for Mr. Beast to be associated with the NFL? I'm trying to watch the fucking game. I'm trying to watch Justin Herbert shove it up the Chargers' ass. And I got to watch Mr. Beast. Where's Chris? Where's Chris? They don't want to fucking talk about Chris anymore. Mr. Beast just has that look that I don't want any part of him. I don't want to be associated with him. Something about the eyes. It looks like they got to him. I don't know who they are, but somebody got to him. And it's the smile and the fakest teeth of all time, but something's not right with Mr. Beast. And it all boils down to I really don't want him involved with the NFL. So I'd rather Taylor Swift. Bring Taylor Swift back. We don't want Mr. Beast. The 12-year-olds aren't going to stick around. They're going to go back to wherever Mr. Beast goes. I don't need to see somebody get put into a fucking cannon and shot into a river. I just want to see the Chargers and the Chiefs play. Bam, you're a big Mr. Beast fan. What did you think?
No, I'm not.
What do they call him?
I have no idea.
You're a Mr. Beast fan.
I didn't even know that they partnered with them.
Okay. Neither one of y'all watched the fucking Friday game?
I watched pieces of it. I never saw Mr. Beast.
Dude, Mr. Beast was on the pregame, halftime, and postgame.
Yeah, I missed all that.
Okay.
It sounds like I'm glad I did.
Bam, what's your favorite Mr. Beast episode?
I don't have one. I don't watch them.
Dude, I know you've watched Mr. Beast. You swear to God you haven't watched Mr. Beast. You're going to tell me that with a straight face.
I've seen a few episodes.
You're a big Mr. Beast fan, dude.
Big Mr. Beast
Yes,
fan.
you are. I can tell. There's certain, his fans have a look. You got
What type of shit does he do?
I don't even know. Puts his friends in Jell-O or something. Stay in this circle for 72 fucking days and we'll give you a Honda Civic.
No, I really can't recall one.
Yeah, he does some strange things.
He's just gotten too big. And when you get too big, you get paid a visit. And I'm not sure who pays you that visit or what exactly they do to you, but it's not anything good. I can promise you that. The eyes never lie, and you can see it in his eyes. He's dead back there. There's nothing behind those eyes. That's crazy though that you're going to deny being a. They got to call him something? I bet you know what they're referred to.
No, I don't. I'm not a big Mr. Beast fan.
Dude, I know you are. You said you've seen a few episodes. You've seen a
who
few.
has it? It's Mr. Beast.
I've never watched any Mr. Beast. I may have seen clips come through on the feed, but like go to the YouTube page and watch a video.
I never go to the
yeah,
YouTube page.
right.
That's crazy.
I bet you've watched a full length video of Mr. Beast.
No.
Bam's tapping his friend on the couch. He's building wells in Africa. Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
While his buddy's sweating a game.
yeah. Bam tuned in just for Mr. Beast. Last thing, and then we'll get to the recap. Caleb Williams, Monday night. JJ McCarthy. I got under fire with Michigan fans. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
No.
Dude, I had to delete a tweet. I very rarely ever delete tweets. I tweeted that. And I have, so I want to get on the same page with this. I tweeted out as JJ McCarthy was playing like absolute dog shit, and they're going to try to tell you that he wasn't. He was. I said JJ McCarthy fucking sucked at Michigan. I said he was the weakest link on that national championship team. The biggest worry the entire time was he going to lose them the game? I said people magically thought he would go to the NFL and not suck. Well, he comes back, wins the game, fucking this guy's account with fucking a lot of followers quote tweeted and was like, basically, got your dumbass. Well, I was fine with that. I was going back and forth with people, but then I woke up to fucking way too many direct messages of some just wild shit that I'm like, I'm out. I had deleted the tweet. I was like, I'm good. Once we start going down the direct message path, I'm good. I don't want any trouble. Am I wrong in that assessment that JJ McCarthy was the weakest link on that national championship Michigan team?
No.
They're trying to tell me that I'm wrong, and I don't know what they're like, oh, tell me you don't know ball without telling me you don't know ball. He fucking didn't throw a touchdown in the national championship. I think he had 100 and something yards. Like, he was a non-factor. They beat Ohio State. They put up 30 points. I think he had 140 passing yards. They're trying to tell, I remember. They're like, you clearly didn't watch. I'm like, that was one of the biggest bets I ever placed was on Michigan in that national championship. My number one worry was, please just don't fuck it up. The best play he made was he scrambled on a third down. So that's what, they're like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure I do. I was like, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember it. But that was what I'm asking you, I guess. You don't think I'm wrong there? You agree with that?
No, yeah, I agree.
Well, they were coming for me bad. Like, a lot of fucking people. It was one of those, like, the post got like 6 likes and 80 comments. I'm like, fuck. But yeah, it's like, I remember that being the issue was that they can't consistently throw the ball. Like, I went back and looked at the stats and let me see. Because I was going back and forth with this person for a little while. That's what he said. If you're a box score watcher, that's cool. Just say you didn't pay attention. No worries. I'm here to tell you he was the reason they won the national title. He was the unequivocal leader. He was the guy, period. He always wins. Always. Sorry, you're just wrong. I said we had big money on Michigan in that national championship. So actually, we were not wrong. We were right.
In the national championship game, 10 for 18, 140 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks.
That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's what I told him. The team ran for over 300 yards. He completed 10 passes. In the year 2000, whatever it was, 22, 23, 10 passes. And you're going to tell me that he wasn't the weakest link on the team? That defense was incredible. The running backs were incredible. The offensive line, the defensive line. What was the weakest link? You want to say wide receiver? It doesn't fucking matter. You didn't throw the ball. That's what they always say. He was 27-1 as a starter. You played in the Big Ten. You played in the Big Ten where and that was pre-Penn State being as good as they are now. So Penn State was always good, but they were never going to do anything back then. They didn't have the roster. They went and got Aller, and now they're more competitive. People try to look. Everybody had a fucking M in their name too, like the M emoji. It's like, yeah, okay. It's just all the Michigan fans trying to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't that good, and he's probably not going to be that good in the NFL, but he made an incredible turnaround. Thank you to the defense for sending pressure and establishing the run. But he made good plays when he needed to make good plays at the most important moment. But J.J. McCarthy needs to give a gigantic thank you to Caleb Williams for progressively getting worse and worse and worse throughout that game, because he came out and completed 9 of his first 9 passes, and they scored on the opening drive. And then Caleb Williams proceeded to just melt under the pressure. He looked like a homeless person stole a loaf of bread in the grocery store and was trying to get out. That's the best way I always equate him to. He looks like somebody who's mentally unstable, took something he's not supposed to, and people are chasing him, and he's like fucking trying to get away from him. He looks so frantic when he's running. And then he'll do one of those where he runs down that's the perfect example of Caleb Williams, is he runs to the sideline and then he throws a fucking bullet on the money, and you're like, Jesus Christ, it just jumps off the screen, the arm talent. And then he'll go over there and he's like jumping. He loves to jump when he's trying to evade pressure. And then he's stepping on the sideline and throwing it to nobody. So Caleb Williams did not look good. And I know Bears fans more than anybody were hoping Caleb Williams would at least look like a little different than last year. It looked like the same Caleb Williams. And when the Vikings cranked up that pressure, it got worse and worse and worse. So... But make no mistake about it, they're going to try to tell you J.J. McCarthy played a great game. He played a bad game for 3 quarters, and then he did the opposite. Caleb Williams started hot, finished horrible. J.J. McCarthy started horrible and finished hot, and that's what's more important, clearly. But yeah, they did not agree with me. And I said hand up, preemptively jumped the gun. Credit to J.J. McCarthy. Very good comeback. Like I said, I'll give credit where it's due. I didn't think he was good in college, and I still don't think he's going to be good in the NFL. But there was plenty of opportunity for him to completely crack under that pressure and check out of that game, and he didn't. So he deserves a ton of credit for that. That's very impressive, because Caleb Williams, on the other hand, will crack under the pressure. He's got the same nail tech as Angel Reese. You saw that?
No.
I'm assuming it's a woman. Maybe it's not. Whoever does Angel Reese's nails now also does Caleb Williams' nails. So there's that. And I don't have a problem. Do your nails all you want, but it's not good. It's not. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm like, we're fucked. and it started to show itself towards the tail end of him at USC when he cried in his mother's arms after they lost to Washington, and one of the worst displays of defense that you'll ever see between 2 teams in a football game. But he cried, like bawled, sobbed, crying. He's going to melt under the pressure, I think. Crazy talented, doesn't seem to be the brightest, I guess, and he also seems very soft. So not a good combination. It looks like Ben Johnson's going to get pretty fed up with him pretty quick. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. He's scared to let the ball go. It's a little bit of what we saw with Spencer Rattler, where there's people there, and you can tell sometimes you got to fire the ball down the seam and fit it into a tight window, and he didn't want to do it, and Ben Johnson's not going to have a lot of patience for it. They paid Tyler Bagent. Hot take, does he start before the end of the year?
No, I don't think so.
They paid him money. That guy will go out there and fucking sling that thing. It'll be interesting to watch, to see what happens for sure. All right, let's get into our recap, but let's start with Circa Millions. So I had a good week betting. We did not have a good week. As I said, we're going to give you weekly updates with our contest entry. And the lines for that don't come out till Thursday, like I mentioned last episode. So we'll give you recaps. We're not going to be able to necessarily tell you what we have going in. If you do want to know, you can always message and I'll tell you. I don't care. We had probably the most unlucky weekend that we could have possibly had. We had one bad pick. Every other pick I would make again. You have to get lucky if you're going to win these contests, and we absolutely did not. We had the Chargers. Started it off. Easy winner. Literally no sweat. That it was alarming how bad the Kansas City secondary looked. We then had the Dolphins. The worst pick of the weekend by far. I hate Mike McDaniel so much. But am I wrong to hate Mike McDaniel? I fucking hate Mike McDaniel. I hate his greasy fucking Jerry curl with the aviators and his gold watch. He looks like a nerd who got money and I'm not trying to be like Rex Ryan. They were grilling Rex Ryan because he didn't say with his chest, and it's like, you're on national media. We're on a fucking podcast. He called him nerd boy. It's like, all right, Rex, you fat pig. Come on. But he looks like a little slimy weasel. That's really the best way that I could describe Mike McDaniel, is a slimy weasel who's not a good football coach. They're clearly not disciplined. He looks like he wants to be everybody's best friend. I just remember the video of them honoring Dan Marino, and he's like, do you remember what I'm talking about? They're honoring Dan Marino, and he's screaming at him. Like, fuck your records, Dan. Fuck your records. We're going to break all your records. Like a weirdo. Like, he's nuts. He's nuts. It's Dan Marino. And he's screaming. They're honoring him and, like, putting him in whatever. He's screaming, fuck your records. He's an odd guy. He's a bad football coach. Maybe he's a good offensive mind. And he's just got a fucking idiot as his quarterback. What a bad pick the Dolphins were. And Tua is a terrible quarterback, and he absolutely sucks. He got slammed on his fucking head so hard, I was like, here we go again. Here we go again. And I'm not saying like I was like, maybe it's better for us if he did get knocked unconscious. I would never say or think that. But it was on the table. Yeah, bad pick with the Dolphins. So 1-1. And then we proceed to go with the Falcons +2. Younghoe Koo. I swear I sat on this show last year and I said, I don't think I've ever seen Younghoe Koo miss. And I don't think he's made a damn kick since. Or he's not gone a game without missing one since then. It's incredible. The Falcons, I felt like, were the right side. Baker Mayfield put so many balls up for grabs. And literally, I think he had 4 turnover-worthy plays. I thought it was 5. And they didn't come down with a single one, like right in the linebacker's hands. And they couldn't come down with it. So we miss out. I think it was 2.5, actually. So we miss out on the Falcons by a half point. We had the Saints +6.5. We touched on that a little bit. A lot of missed opportunities for the Saints. Juwan Johnson, though, has the ball in his hands with the chance to tie the game or go for 2 if Kellen Moore wants to have some balls and try to send us home with a 2-point conversion winner. But he drops it. So you lose that one by a half point. Then we had, what was after that? We had Dolphins, Saints, Falcons, and then the Raiders. The Ravens with a 99% chance of winning the game. And they fucking blow a 15-point lead with 4 minutes to go. 99% chance. So we go 1-4 to start our contest. A fucking razor-thin margin away from being 4-1. And at least 3-2 or 2-3. It's like you got the fact that we didn't get one of those 3 games. You had 1 bad pick. And you had 3 picks that I would make again. And we were just on the wrong side of some very unfortunate bounces. Koo missed like a fucking 35, 40-yard kick to force overtime. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to try to come back with a 5-0 week and get back in the mix on this thing. What are your thoughts? Like I said, I don't feel like they were bad picks. I feel like it was just misfortune.
Yeah, I agree. Just sometimes the way the game plays out, especially the Falcons and the Saints, just sometimes the game plays out and it's funky when you got underdogs like that, and then the Ravens had no business losing.
No, that was a travesty. Yeah. So, all right, now we'll recap college football and dive into the best bets for week 3. Started it off with Louisville -13.5. So where we had a lot of bad luck this weekend, we had a little bit of good luck in this one because Louisville, while clearly the better team, did not play well in this game. It took Isaac Brown late in the game to bust like an 80-yard touchdown. Told you, NFL running back, superstar. He showed it on that one run. But other than that, JMU did a really good job of stopping Louisville. Louisville flexed their muscle on the defensive side of the ball in the second half, and Alonzo Barnett really struggled, and Sluka stinks. And what I expected to happen offensively for JMU. We saw in the second half. Louisville was able to stretch out a lead. They go up 14 off the Isaac Brown touchdown run, but it got a little dicey. Louisville gets a stop, and I kind of took a premature victory lap. They go 3 and out, give the ball back to JMU. Sluka comes in after throwing an interception, and this asshole is going to go try to score as he's in a quarterback battle with Alonzo Barnett, who's clearly frustrated. Sluka's trying to score a meaningless touchdown with seconds to go. He gets stuffed on the 1 yard line. They have no timeouts, like 10 seconds left, and they're trying to hurry up and run another play, and the clock runs out. So it was incredible. It was awesome. Fuck Sluka for trying to go score that touchdown. JMU realistically was probably the right side. It took some fortune for Louisville, although I do feel like if they were playing this week, I would bet Louisville again. Oregon minus 28. My God. They literally made a Power 4 school in Oklahoma State look like an FCS school, like a bottom-of-the-barrel FCS school. I told you Hejny, whatever his last name is, he was out, so Flores was going to be the quarterback. He struggled. He had back-to-back drives throwing a pick six late in the second half after they were already down like 40. But he threw a pick six, and then I swear to God, I thought they were showing a replay. He threw a carbon copy of the pick six in the exact same spot that I was like, what is going on? The probably easiest no-sweat winner of the entire year. So they were 28-point favorites. They won by 70. Virginia, NC State over 55, another no-sweat winner. This cashed with like 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pretty much exactly what we said. Virginia had success. Honestly, Virginia blew it there at the end. They had a chance to win the game. But as far as the over, they scored 60-something points and had a chance to score more. So I started this day 4-0 this week, 4-0 in college football. And we had a chance to really get cooking. Baylor, plus 2.5 was my lock of the week. I had a big money line bet on them as well. We were eyeing down the most profitable college day that outside of like a big, huge bet or anything like that. We were looking at one of the best days possibly. And then it came crashing down. Baylor wins the game outright in a shootout after being down in the second half. That offense and Sawyer Robertson, I tried to tell you. SMU, that was another misleading game, too. The first play of the game, it should have been an interception. It goes through Baylor's hands, tips into the SMU wide receiver, and first play, 75-yard touchdown. So an absolutely terrible start. And there was a couple other funky plays like that. So Baylor's defense is terrible. Do not get me wrong. They stink, but they can score the football. So we start off 4-0, then we had 3 straight losers. Ole Miss minus 10. There has been a lot of discussion on if this was a bad beat, and people are like, that's not a bad beat. Kentucky was the side. Ole Miss wasn't covering for the majority of the whole game. I don't give a shit. This was still a bad beat. So Ole Miss minus 10. Yes, they were not covering, but the last minute of the game, we talked about it. Lane Kiffin calls a meaningless timeout. Kentucky has no timeouts. The clock's rolling. They're going to continue with the offense, not run the field goal unit out there because there's like 13 seconds left, and they're not going to have enough time either way. So they were going to keep the offense out there, maybe run one more play, and then that was going to be it. Lane Kiffin decides to call a fucking timeout, and nobody knows why. He doesn't know why. He's Mike McDaniel of the fucking college football, of NCAA. I hate Lane Kiffin so fucking much, dude. He's not a serious coach. He's when the postseason rolls around, you're going to see Lane Kiffin on Twitter fucking tweeting at coaches that are more successful than him. Every single fucking year, that's the way it goes, and that's the way it's going to go again until the end of time. Lane Kiffin's a fucking loser. There was no point to call that timeout. Literally none. It made no sense. So Ole Miss was up 10. They give up a meaningless field goal because they decided to call timeout and make the decision for Kentucky. UCLA minus 2.5. This was frustrating because UCLA played absolutely terrible in the first half and then flipped the script and dominated in the second half. They had a chance to go down and tie the game at the end. Nico got a ball tipped for an interception, but they outgained them by like 250 yards in the second half. It was, I don't know what took so long, but they turned a corner there in the second half. Michigan plus 5.5. This was a unbelievably vanilla game plan for Sharon Moore. They clearly just wanted to try to keep it close, kind of like Kellen Moore with, maybe it's a Moore thing, with the Saints. They were scared to let Bryce Underwood throw it, and they even had a lot of fortunate bounces, a muff punt, and things like that to keep them in the game. Oklahoma was the right side. Michigan was scared to go out there and try to put points up on the board. So that's what it boils down to. 4-3 week for me. We did hit our lock, though. Brings me to 7-11-1. 1-1 in my locks of the week. You had 5 plays.
Yeah, only 2 were different from yours. I was on Louisville, Virginia, NC State over, and Ole Miss -10. We'll go to Kansas State. Kansas State took a 13-0 lead against Army, and then with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half, Army had like a 15-play, 75-yard drive to put up a touchdown there to close out the first half. And then after that, man, Army dominated time of possession. It seemed like Kansas State barely got the ball in the second half. So what looked like it was going to be a good start turned to be out a loser. So Virginia Tech went the same way. Virginia Tech was up 10 at halftime. I was kicking myself saying I should have made Virginia Tech my lock. Right after I said that, the floodgates opened and Vanderbilt smashed them smithereens.
Yeah. Diego Pavia.
They were running the ball down their throat.
Yeah. So you go 2-3. Brings you to 6, 5-1, and 1-1 in your locks of the week. Bam. How did your plays go?
I went 1-2. You already covered Ole Miss -10 loser. That was my lock of the week. LSU, LA Tech, easy under there. And then I had Tulane -10. They had a couple chances to cover this game, but they ended up not doing it. So 1-2 in the week.
Yeah, you had Tulane -10. They ended up giving up a 2-point conversion. There was a situation where late in the game, if South Alabama did not get the 2-point conversion, Tulane was then going to probably be able to run out the clock. South Alabama was in that game. I'm not going to say that Tulane was the right side, but a little bit misfortune there at the end where they could have had a chance. So, all righty, let's look ahead to week 3. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Are you on the Thursday game? Did you consider it?
No.
Okay. I did a little bit, but no, I didn't feel good about it. I thought about taking Wake Forest with the points over a touchdown at home, but I didn't feel confident enough to do it. What about Friday?
Yeah.
Do you really? You're not normally I got the 2 weeks in a row with a Friday game. Where are you going?
I'm on 2 games Friday.
Wow.
So I'm a crazy bastard.
Okay. What's the first one?
I'm going back to Kansas State.
Okay. Oh, God. You're going to take them?
They're off to a horrible start, right? And they very well could be 0-3. I do think Avery Johnson, though, is playing better this year than he was last year. I just think it's been some funky games and games they've been out schemed in. Arizona, I'm not that high on them, even though they've blown out both of their opponents. Against Hawaii, they were playing against a hobbled quarterback who didn't even finish the game. Hawaii turned it over 5 times. I think Arizona coming into this season, not a lot of people were high on them. I don't think that's changed for me, and I think Kansas State is better than they played. So we're going to take Kansas State -1 here.
So if you're 0-2 with Kansas State, you're going back to the well. I'm 0-2 with UCLA. Do I go back to the well?
I'm on that game too.
Fuck. What? Okay. Well. Okay. I was considering the game before that. Maybe I'll stay away. I'm clearly not super confident in it. I was thinking about laying it with Houston at home. Colorado's doing the 3-quarterback thing. They're now going to go with I don't know what his last name is, Staub. He was on the team last year. He had a very small amount of playing time, I think, when Shador either went down in a game or if it was in a blowout. And then he got in a little bit. They played Delaware. They played all 3 quarterbacks. But you've got Salter. You've got Juju Lewis, the guy who's driving around in a Lamborghini, and now he's not going to start this next game. The 3rd string is going to start. I never like that. If you don't have if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. If you have 3, you probably stink. But and then you look at Prime in the press conference, he was like, what is a solidified quarterback? They asked him, like, do you think there's a problem not having a solidified quarterback? He said, what's a solidified quarterback? Who in the country has a solidified quarterback? It's like, how much time do you have, pal? Like, goddamn everybody. What do you mean? You had a solidified quarterback the last 2 years with your damn son.
Right.
He's like, everybody's got a fucking quarterback rotation going. It's like, not really. Not really at all. Maybe you and JMU. That's it. What are your thoughts on Houston? The defense is damn good. Wegman has not looked spectacular, so that's worrisome. I'll probably stay away. But I do think the defense is really good for Houston. I think this is a great opportunity for Willie Fritz at home. Colorado doesn't have the expectations and the hype around him like they did the last couple years, but it's still prime time on the sideline and a very popular Colorado team on a Friday game in a standalone, not a standalone spot, but you could call it. Not much other football is on, so a lot of people will be watching this game. So, what are your thoughts? Did you look at it at all?
Not really. Just the quarterback situation for Colorado kind of being unknown. I guess you got to see him a little bit last week, but I mean, who knows?
I'll take him. I'll lay 4.5 with Houston. Fuck it. I'll go down with the ship. To be honest with you, I bought a Houston hat 3 days ago. It'll be here on Friday for what that's worth. And that was I didn't know I was taking Houston. So you want to talk about signs? I should have a Houston hat being delivered in the mail. So I'll never forget, though, I got a jersey a couple years back. I think it was the Caleb Williams jersey. I ordered a Caleb Williams jersey that took literally like 6 months to come in. It got lost and it canceled, and they redid the order, and it was that Caleb Williams Oklahoma jersey, and it was on a day. It was the Red River shootout, I think, like a couple years back. I was like, this is fucking fantastic. Like, I forgot I even ordered the jersey. Came in the mail that day. I was like, and we were on Oklahoma. I was like, this is incredible. They got blown the fuck out. So not all the signs don't always line up, but we're going to go Houston minus 4.5. I really do think the defense is good. I think there's obviously issues with Colorado if you don't have a solidified quarterback. Maybe we get a defensive touchdown from Houston here, but I think it's a good defense versus a bad defense, and I'm going to go with the better defense at home, and I think Willie Fritz is a damn good coach. So Houston minus 4.5. It came down a little bit. It's been kind of teetering back and forth. What is your play for New Mexico UCLA?
UCLA minus 15.5.
Well, I got to do it then because I'm not. I was like, am I dumb enough to go back to the fucking well for a third time? I got to take it too then because I'm not sitting. I'm done if they don't handle business here. New Mexico stinks. I don't want to be on the sidelines when UCLA finally covers a damn football game. But do you have reasons you like it?
Yeah, I think the final score against Michigan's a little bit misleading. Michigan really dominated that football game. I think New Mexico's defense is terrible. So I think Imalav ends up having a little bit of success here. I think New Mexico defense struggles to get stops.
Yeah, it's like I told you with last week. I'm telling you, they had no business being in that game, and then all of a sudden, they flipped the script, and UCLA was the superior team. If my damn iPad here would work, I could try to pull it up. It was 23-30. Like I said, there was a tip ball. They outscored them 20-7 in the second half. I want to say UNLV's touchdown came later. It came in the fourth quarter. So in the second half, after struggling, they had 3 points going into halftime. They went touchdown, field goal, and then the interception. So they were moving the ball on them. They held UNLV to – they had a 75-yard touchdown drive. Other than that, they had drives of 10 yards, 13 yards, -8 yards, 8 yards. They flipped the script. The defense started playing much, much better. And this is not a bad UNLV offense. They have talented wide receivers, and Calandria is playing well. And you got Dan Mullen over there on the sideline, too. So New Mexico is going to be a serious drop-off in talent is what I think. So, and I think the spread obviously indicates that. This is a spot where UCLA's got to put some points up on the board and play with a little bit of fight. So, I will take them as well. They outgained them by damn 80 yards. And they lost the turnover battle 2-0. But, yeah, I'm going to take them as well. There's no way I'm sitting on the sideline and watching that hit and then me not partaking. Are you on anything Thursday or Friday, Bam?
Nope, just Saturday.
Okay. All right, so to Saturday we will go. How many – are you on the Clemson Georgia Tech game?
You're
You're looking at your sheet.
I'm debating if it's my lock or not.
Oh, wow. The fuck? Okay.
I guess we'll go ahead and make it my lock because the other pick's even crazier than those two.
Okay. Are you on this game, Bam?
I'll wait on that.
Oh, my God. Y'all both have locks in this game? Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you which way. I will wait to make my decision then. But this will be very interesting. I lean Clemson. I think it's come down too far. I don't feel confident enough to give it out before I hear what y'all have to say. Obviously, I like Georgia Tech. I like Brent Key. I like Haynes King. Haynes King's banged up. The backup came in. He played well. Were you scratching out? Don't scratch out. I'm not that confident. I'm not confident enough. The backup came in, and that's great. And they knew that they weren't playing anybody. This is just my opinion. I think it's an overreaction, and everybody's fallen victim to it, where everyone picked Clemson to be their national championship. That was the trendy pick in this defense and this and that. We were high on LSU. We felt like that was a great spot for LSU, and LSU is the superior team. But that doesn't mean Clemson stinks. That doesn't mean they're terrible. They went down 7-0 against Troy, and then there was a weather delay. And they had to sit around for over an hour, however long it was. Everybody just kind of hopped off the wagon, and it's like, okay, are y'all just terrible at scouting then? Because everybody was like, Klubnik's going to be the first quarterback taken. And now they're like, maybe Klubnik's not that good. And you're hearing people come out and say like, I wasn't that high on Klubnik to begin with. Everybody was high on Klubnik except us. So I just think it's maybe come down a little too far. And at 3.5, I lean Clemson. I'm interested to see what y'all think. And I'll make a decision there. But if it goes to 3, it's a fucking full go for me. I'm sorry. No matter what y'all think. But all right, let's keep it moving then, and we'll come back to that because y'all apparently have a double lock on it. What is your first one for Saturday then?
All right. Utah at Wyoming. Utah, one of the hottest teams in the country, right? Averaging 500 yards of offense in the first 2 games. Defense has only given up an average of 221 yards per game. They outscored their opponents by an average of 43.5 points per game. But I'm going to take Wyoming plus the points here. I think Wyoming's kind of good. I really like their quarterback, Caden Anderson. At the very least, I think Wyoming possesses the ball long enough here and puts together enough offense to keep this one from getting out of hand. Another key thing here is Wyoming played Devin Dampier last year. I think that helps. If you go look at the stat line, though, you might be swayed the other way because he had 4 total touchdowns against Wyoming. Wyoming did end up winning the game 49-45. But I think, even though that's the case, I think at the end of the day it helps that the Wyoming defense has seen Dampier before.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that's the side I would lean as well. It's a sneaky, difficult place to go play in Laramie. People kind of gloss over Wyoming and don't really pay much mind to them. It's like quietly a pretty good home field advantage. Dampier could quickly turn into Diego Pavia, though. So if it doesn't go well, I'm not on that, but we can't get into a spot where we start fading the quarterbacks that, like, I loved Pavia. He went to the SEC. We're like, he's going to suck there. He's not going to be able to play there. He fucking covers every damn game. So Dampier already got me once this year. So if they fucking blow Wyoming out of the water here, we might need to just stop resisting the small.
This was going to be my lock.
So you're that confident? What number did you get?
23.5.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Wyoming has a lot of white guys.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
White guys are not going to be able to catch Dampier.
Yeah, that's the part. That's where I was kind of going with it.
Yeah.
They're going to yell at the coach and say, why don't you go out there and chase them?
Yeah. No, I mean, I can tell you right now, in a foot race, they're not going to get him. We're going to have to out-scheme them, and we're going to have to fundamentally play good ball. Let's go to arguably the biggest game of the weekend, Georgia and Tennessee. I've kind of teetered back and forth on it if I wanted to pull the trigger on it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take Georgia minus 3.5. I think the numbers come down too far. I think this opened at like a touchdown. I think it opened at Tennessee 7-point underdogs. It's been bet way down. Look, Georgia's gotten the best of Tennessee for the last decade. if there was a time that Tennessee could get Georgia, it would be now with still an unproven quarterback in Gunnar Stockton. I don't know. I think it's come down too far. I'm going to take Georgia minus 3.5. You got a better look at Tennessee, although I did go back and watch the game against Syracuse and all of that. I don't think Syracuse is very good. I bet their under win total on our ACC look ahead under 5.5 wins. They nearly lost to UConn last week and probably should have lost. What are your thoughts, I guess? You said it yourself. You think the offense is better this year than what they had last year. And that's a whole nother conversation that Aguilar, my God, lucked into possibly the best situation ever with Nico trying to strong-arm him for money, and then he gets to go from UCLA, who's not looking that great, to go to Tennessee around a lot more talent. So what are your thoughts on this way? Which way would you lean?
Yeah, at this number, there's no one. This is not going back down. This is not going to go down to 3. No way, Jose.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, I guess I'm not totally surprised at +7. It took money. I am surprised that it's come down this much.
I think it's maybe a little overreaction to the Austin Peay game where Georgia didn't look spectacular, but they're keeping everything close to the vest. They're not opening up the playbook. And what they did go do is go out and get weapons. Zach Branch is a fucking problem. You got Delp, the tight end. You've got good players. They haven't been able to run the ball that great, but you still have solid running backs, solid options. So is Aguilar going to be able to step in and light it up against this Georgia defense? I don't think that Tennessee's going to have the success running the ball against this Georgia defense, so Aguilar is going to have a very good game. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it. So we'll see, but I'm going to take Georgia minus 3.5. Sounds like that would maybe be the direction you would lean at this number?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your first one, Bam? How many total do you have, first off?
2.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. What's your first one?
South Alabama at Auburn, laying the points with Auburn, minus 24.5.
Is this a hate pick because they got you last week?
Kinda.
Okay. Good idea. Never fails. All right.
Also, Auburn's just looking really good right now. Granted, they played Ball State, but
yeah, I mean, look, that was Baylor's defense is fucking atrocious. But yeah, they're going to certainly have an advantage in the trenches. We'll see. What is your next one, Nick?
Oh, just my lock.
Oh, that's all you got left? The fuck? I thought you said you had – how many total is that? Oh, you had 2 on Friday. Okay. I am going to go to – I got 2 at 6:30. Let's see. Actually, we'll go to this one first. Let me see what the best number is. So for those interested, which nobody's going to be interested because it doesn't fucking matter. But I got Duke against. Oh, it did. It did jump back. Bam, what's the best number for Duke Tulane? It looks like it's conflicting here.
Minus 1.5 for Duke.
Well, I see what the hell? I see a +1, a juiced +1.5. And then I see a +1. And then I see a +0.5 point.
+1 is the most closest to minus 110.
Okay. Oh, well, they've got a minus 110 money line. Can you fact check that? Am I saying that correctly? Minus 110 money line at No Free Ads FanDuel and everybody pretty much?
Yeah, it's minus 110 on FanDuel.
Okay, we're going to take Duke and a pick 'em here. For what it's worth, it's not worth anything because it's too late for y'all, but I got Duke +4.5. A lot of money came in on Duke, and at one point they were -1.5, and maybe I guess still are in a couple spots. The $1 million man, Darian Mensah, returns to Tulane to go play his former team. Obviously, Summerall and the fellas are going to know him and know his strengths and weaknesses. I don't think that really matters too much. I think he's mobile. We saw South Alabama, the quarterback, give them a little trouble with their feet, and I felt like South Alabama hung in that game and jumped out to an early lead and held their own. I think Duke's a good team. I think Manny Diaz is a great defensive coach. I thought they hung in there with Illinois for quite a while. They just kept turning the ball over. Tulane doesn't have the defense that Illinois has. There's no Gabe Yakas coming off the edge. I think the run defense is going to force Retzlaff to throw the ball. I don't think he's going to be able to have success doing it. I think Manny Diaz can disguise some blitzes and confuse him and just put some pressure on him. It is a little bit of a suspect secondary for Duke, but I don't think Retzlaff will be able to exploit it. So Tulane was outgained by South Alabama, and they lost 2 fumbles, one on a 4th and 1 at the 22-yard line. So it missed opportunities for South Alabama, even though one of the fumbles they turned right back around and got it back. We're going to take Duke in a pick 'em here, but would have much rathered plus 4.5. What are your thoughts on that one? You think it's come down too much?
I don't know. Kinda, but it's not enough for me to take Tulane.
Yeah, I just don't know that they can. I don't know that they're going to be able to test them through the air. So, let's go to Texas A&M and Notre Dame. 6:30 kick. We are going to take the Aggies plus 7. We got a good look at Notre Dame and Miami when we were on the under in that one and absolutely got screwed. I wasn't really that impressed with C.J. Carr. He did a decent job of battling back into that game, but more so than C.J. Carr, I really was not impressed with the offensive line for Notre Dame. Marcel Reed, quarterback for Texas A&M, got banged up, did not return to the game in the last outing. Elko said he expects him to go. He was on Instagram Live saying that he's going to be fine and he's going to play. I think Texas A&M has a couple quality backs with Moss and Owens. They have decent skill position players. Marcel Reed can also use his legs. I think it's going to be a scrappy dogfight of a game. 2 good defenses. This is a rematch from what we saw last year when Notre Dame marched into College Station and came out with a win. Both teams are going to be motivated, so there's no real factor there or anything, but there is a little bit of a revenge factor for A&M. I think they're going to keep this one close at the very least, and I got to see it from Notre Dame where I really felt like Miami dominated a large portion of that game, and it ended up being closer than it even should have been. It was really the advantage in the trenches that was surprising, though. So I think Notre Dame has serious issues on the offensive line. I think that A&M will be able to have success getting to the quarterback, and it's going to be a very vanilla game plan. They don't have great weapons. Obviously, they still have Faison, but it's a lot of wide receiver screens. It's a lot of telegraphed plays. I think we're going to see a defensive battle. I'll take the team getting a touchdown. So give me Texas A&M plus 7. Do you have an opinion on that one?
I think I was going to take Notre Dame when it was 6.5.
Okay.
But now that it's 7, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like Reed that much.
Yeah, I get that, but
I think Marcus Freeman probably schemes up well against him, because I don't think he's that great of a passer.
yeah,
So, I mean, everybody remembers him from the LSU game last year, and then after that, he kind of faded into
I don't need him to pass.
being unrememberable.
I just need him to run. Just let him run. But I like the running backs. I really do.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be a close, scrappy game. So, like I said, I'll take the team getting the touchdown. 2 more plays and then my lock, actually. First one, we're going to go to ECU and Coastal Carolina. We talked about them. We talked about them last week. Okay, I thought this line moved a little bit, but I think we're good. ECU 7.5-point favorites, and we're going to lay it. So I really just think Coastal's not good. You talked about it, and it's a fact. They're really, really bad. MJ Morris, the quarterback, looks terrible, grading out terrible. So eye test statistically, however you want to talk about it, he's not very good. He's 129 out of 140 eligible quarterbacks. He's got no touchdowns on the year, 4 interceptions. He's got a 3.2% big time throw percentage. He's putting the ball in harm's way with nearly like a 10% turnover worthy plays on limited attempts. Of course, we'd rather under 7, but I like ECU. I like Hauser. I think that they're going to be able to put some points up on the board. I wish they would throw it a little bit more. I think they're going to have opportunity in this one. So we're going to lay 7.5 points with ECU. I think Coastal's in a bad spot right now, and they don't have they don't have many people that are going to be able to contribute. So I'm going to lay the points minus 7.5 with the ECU Pirates. And then my last one before my lock, we're going late night. Let's see. Okay. We are going to take. It's Cal versus Minnesota. And I was texting you about this kid. I've been looking for an opportunity to get on the side with Cal. They call him JKS, Jaron Kiawe Sunga Politelli. True freshman quarterback. He's extremely good. Throws a very good ball. NFL arm, you can tell. If you've listened to us in years past, you know I like Cal. I like Justin Wilcox. I think he's a good defensive coach. They lost Mendoza to the portal. Doesn't matter because they went and found this kid. On the side with Minnesota, if you listen to our Big Ten breakdown, we were talking about Drake Lindsey, and he's a redshirt freshman. He's played pretty well in his first 2 starts. Buffalo stayed inside the number, though. They played a nobody in Northwestern State, who obviously we know in Louisiana. They beat the brakes off of them. Now you got to go for your first true road start all the way on the West Coast on a late kick. A Big Ten team going out to California for a 9:30 kick. So you got the time difference there. I'm going to take Cal plus 2.5. I think that they're going to be able to move the ball, put some points up on the board. This kid's really good at quarterback. That's what it boils down to. I've been looking for an opportunity to back him. Will Drake Lindsey be able to put some points up as well? We'll have to see. I like Justin Wilcox, his ability to coach up the defense and scheme, have a good game plan. So I will take Cal getting points plus 2.5 on the home field. You have any thoughts there? Did you ever go back and watch him?
No.
I told you so many times to go watch him.
I wanted to take under 44.5, but that's long gone.
What is it now?
43 might be the best.
42.5. Yeah, 43. Yeah.
So we were just late to the party.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about. We're kind of in the middle of the optimal time to record, and it's bothering me more. I think in the early years, I think we weren't as, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, avid or as effective gamblers. The best time to hit these lines are early. And every week this year, I've gotten significantly better numbers than what we're able to give out. So we got to go with what's available at the time of recording. But you'll fucking see buyback at Wednesday, and then it'll go the other way Thursday. So we're like smack in the middle of the less than ideal time to record. So we'll have to figure out what we can do from that aspect. But all we have left is our locks.
Yep.
And y'all have. So I might have an ad, depending on which way y'all are going with your locks. How confident are you? Do you want to lead off with it?
I'm pretty confident. I mean,
No, but I mean, like, do you want to go first or me first?
It doesn't matter to me.
Oh, so you're not that confident. Fuck.
I am confident.
Bam, are you confident?
Very.
Okay. Well, let me go first then, and then y'all can battle it out. We'll see if y'all are on the same side or not. Alrighty, that is our best bets other than our locks. No such thing as a lock, but if there was...
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need... Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
My lock of the week is going to be the Miami Hurricanes, minus 17.5. Move through a key number. I'm still going to take them. I think it's a terrible spot for USF. I think you got to go Boise, then you got Florida. You beat them both. You're playing great. Now you got to go play Miami. I just think it's a really tough matchup. I think in the trenches, they're going to be outmatched. Byron Brown's going to have to beat him with his arm. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think Miami's going to be able to put up a ton of points in this one. I think they're the superior team, so I'm laying 17.5 with the Miami Hurricanes. Again, through a key number, but we're still going to take it. I think Miami, I just think it's a really tough spot for South Florida. Florida should not have lost that game last week. But they did. Billy Napier special. I think you're going to see USF run out of gas here. So give me the Miami Hurricanes. Minus 17.5 is my lock of the week. What is your lock of the week?
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this
Clemson, Georgia Tech. We're going under 54.5. People, they're fading Clemson big time.
Yeah.
I still think the defense is seriously good. Through 2 games, they're allowing 3 yards per rush. I'd be somewhat surprised if Haynes King, who's expected to return in this game, takes over this game by running the football.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm also going Clemson minus 3.5 as a regular play.
I was going to say double law.
Double thunder.
Well, then I'll take Clemson minus 3.5 too. Well, we talked about it earlier, and I felt like exactly what I just said 20 fucking minutes ago. I think there's a little overreaction with Clemson. I think the defense is still good. TJ Parker was fucking flying again, all over the field against LSU, at least stopping the run. I think the linebackers struggle in coverage. I don't think that Georgia Tech's going to be able to exploit. I think Woodez is great at stopping the run. I don't think he's great in coverage. I don't think they have anybody that's going to be able to take advantage of it. I'll take Clemson minus 3.5 as well. Bam, what is your lock of the week?
I'm going. I'm just playing.
Do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm going Clemson minus 3.5.
Bam's like thinking, we're like, thank God Bam's not on Georgia Tech.
How bad is the injury for?
I don't think it's. They said it's a nagging lower body injury. I think they knew they were playing a tomato can that they could go with the backup and still win. I would almost certainly expect Haynes King to play, and I don't care. And
he's gonna play, but he's gonna.
Well, no,
I think they're gonna take his fucking head off.
Look, if it's a nagging lower body injury, that's not ideal. That's not what you want to hear if you're backing Georgia Tech. So, look, if Clemson comes out and stinks, then it's like every fucking body needs to have their scouting and all that card revoked. Everybody missed the boat there. We were not that high on Clemson like everybody else was. But as far as this spot, this is a Georgia Tech team that the turnovers were. You played Colorado. We were on Georgia Tech. It took a heroic Haynes King run at the end to cover. You turned it over 3 times the first 3 drives of the game, and you still covered the game. So clearly they were the superior team against Colorado. That's more of a knock on Colorado, in my opinion. But Georgia Tech didn't look super sharp. You have to imagine that with this Clemson team, like if you can't go beat Georgia Tech, my God, everybody was completely wrong. You know. So yeah, I'll take them as well. So you're also on Clemson.
Yep.
So we have another agreement like we had with Ole Miss last week, and we all lost. So we'll see if it happens again, and then we may never have to all agree again. But to recap college, I'm going to take Houston minus 4.5, UCLA minus 16.5, Clemson minus 3.5, Georgia minus 3.5, Duke in a pick'em, Texas A&M plus 7, ECU minus 7.5, Cal plus 2.5. I didn't think I had this many plays, but they added up quick. And my lock of the week is going to be Miami minus 17.5.
Kansas State minus 1, UCLA minus 15.5, Clemson minus 3.5.
Oh, what did I say? 16.5? 15.5. Sorry.
Yeah.
UCLA 15.5.
Clemson, Georgia Tech under 54.5 for the lock. And then we're going to Wyoming plus 23.5.
Yep. And I got Auburn minus 24.5 and the lock, Clemson minus 3.5.
Okay. And you said you are on Clemson minus 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, there you go. That is our best bets for college football. Now we turn our attention to the NFL. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. Again, I said it last time, I'll say it again. I appreciate everybody who hits the like button. It helps us out big time. So please do it again if you haven't already done it. If you have done it, keep doing it. NFL Week 3. Let's recap Week 2 first. NFL Week 2. Let's recap Week 1 first. Thursday night, we had the Cowboys plus 8.5. Turns out the Cowboys' offense is good when Dak Prescott's not hurt, which is what we expected. But more so than that, the Eagles have serious issues in the secondary. Namely at the second cornerback spot. Quinyon Mitchell's obviously good, but when you got a Dory Jackson on the other side and whoever the hell else, it's not good. And the Cowboys, realistically, if CeeDee Lamb could catch, the Cowboys probably win this game. So still can't stop the run to save their fucking life. So that's an issue, but the Eagles were never covering this game, not for a singular second. So Started off with a winner. Friday, we had the Chargers plus 3.5. They won the game outright. It was alarming, the secondary for Kansas City, how many people were running wide open. The Chargers looked good. Herbert looked damn good. So Chargers are going to be a serious contender this year, in my opinion. Dolphins plus 1.5. Touched on it when we recapped our contest, worst pick of the week. Literally, of all the games you could have possibly picked, the Dolphins were the worst one. So that sucked. Packers minus 2.5, though. That was a good one. Lions were in contention as arguably the worst pick of the week. The Packers look incredible. I'll let you know right now, I took the Packers 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. I saw one drive. I said, I've seen enough. It's not as bad as that sounds. We were high on the Packers last year. Micah Parsons is fucking good. Turns out if you go get Micah Parsons, he's going to be an immediate difference maker as we expected. Jerry Jones doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The second Micah came onto the field, he got interior pressure on Goff. Goff threw an interception. Micah Parsons was there to pressure him and force him to get the ball out early. He got the sack where you see it in slow motion, and it's like a fucking lion chasing a gazelle. He's way too big to be that fast. It's almost not fair. The Packers looked very, very good. Ravens plus 1.5 were my lock of the week. We touched on it. All-time collapse. Bills win by 1, so we cashed the bet. But God, that was a tough watch. And then last night, Bears and Vikings under 44.5. If J.J. McCarthy didn't throw a touchdown to the Bears, it would have hit. How this game went over was fucking crazy. A collapse by Dennis Allen and the defense, but it is what it is. 4-2 on the week, a great start to the NFL season. We did cash the lock as well. So 4-2 overall, 1-0 on my locks of the week. You had your usual 3 plays.
Yeah, we were on the Cowboys. You talked about it. The Saints, we talked extensively about it in the beginning of this show. And then the Dolphins, yeah, what a terrible pick, man. Daniel Jones. What the hell?
Yeah, that's on us.
What the hell was that?
Because we kind of fell in love with the Dolphins when Anthony Richardson was expected to be the quarterback. We got a little skeptical when they went with Daniel Jones, and we should have hopped off of it, but we didn't. So that's on us. Bam, how did you go? How did your week go?
2-2. Thursday night had the Eagles, Cowboys under 47. Miraculous under.
Oh, yeah. Bam, we went over and watched the first half at Bam's house. I walked out at that first half. I said, all right, Bam, you got to hope this is your worst play of the year. And then we left. Turns out the weather delay saved them. Literally, it took an act of God for Bam to hit this under, but it did. That was remarkable. 3 points in the second half, something like that? Yeah.
It's 41 going in the half and then 3 in the entire second half, which is amazing. I had the Lions Packers over 46. I think it hit 40. One more touchdown would have covered. Bengals minus
4. Okay,
4.
that's not the way you look at that, though. The fucking Lions scored, 6 points?
Yeah, no, it was a bad play. I had the Cardinals minus 6.5 versus the Saints. Got pretty lucky there going against a hometown team. And then the lock was Bengals minus 4.5. Square play. Should have never done it.
What did I text you?
A square.
I just said it. Well, right when you said it, I said you're a crazy bastard. But it was just a bad spot. It's a divisional matchup, fucking on the road. That's one thing, though, as we transition into our best bets for NFL week 2. The Bengals had 7 fucking yards of offense in the second half. You saw that? How do you do that? How the fuck do you do that? I'm looking at my power ratings. I'm like, what? That's bad.
Yeah, they started off pretty damn good on offense, it looked like.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was alarming. There's too many weapons on that offense, and the quarterback's too good. I think Joe Burrow's best quarterback in the NFL. I have him literally rated number 1. So that was questionable, but I didn't do anything. I didn't downgrade anything. I want to see. I think I want to see it again. All righty, so we turn our attention to week 2. It was an exciting week 1, but also a very frustrating week 1. Thursday night, the Commanders going on the road to the Green Bay Packers, who are 3.5-point favorites. Total sits at 48.5, give or take. For what it's worth, like I said, I bet the Packers 12-1. Immediately went down to 8-1. That's what you call a good value bet. You don't agree?
No, it's a good bet.
Fucking, that's a good bet.
Who you going with?
I kind of was hoping you would lead the way here.
Oh, I'm going Packers.
Okay, good. I'm going Packers too. But not to cut you off, everybody loves the Commanders. And I was like, am I on the square side? But I don't think. That makes me
I
feel
don't
better.
think so. I've been saying it. The clock's going to strike midnight for Daniels. And this game's the game.
Yeah. That was the kind of the theme of week one, was there was these teams that we were, or at least I was expecting regression out of the Lions, or at least I've been talking about it more. I was expecting regression out of the Lions. You saw it. Regression out of the Chiefs. You saw it. We've both been talking about we expect just a little fall back to earth for Jaden Daniels. I think the Giants are really fucking bad. Like one of, if not the worst team in football. So the Commanders going and covering and handling the Giants didn't really impress me all that much. I wasn't blown away with the performance by the Commanders. I was very impressed by the performance with the Packers. So could we be walking into a 3-point win and we get burned by the hook? Maybe. You do have Dan Quinn, defensive mind, going to probably scheme up some difficult looks for Jordan Love. Is he ready to take that next step? I bet him to win the Super Bowl, so clearly I think so. I saw 5 seconds of that game. I said, I'm in. But am I crazy to think that literally the addition of Micah Parsons is going to make life more difficult for Jaden Daniels and his ability to improvise and keep plays alive? And I don't – yeah, I think the Packers are the right side. I wasn't super convicted in it that I'm like, no matter which way you were going. If you felt pretty confident in the Commanders, I probably would have went the other way. But yeah, I mean, I think the Packers are the right side. Did you have anything else on it?
No, not really.
Okay. Ben, which way are you going Thursday?
I'm going to total here. I'm going to over 48.5.
Okay. All righty. I lean under on that one. I honestly, full disclosure, I bet the under. But I didn't feel anywhere near good enough to give it out. But we'll see. Why do you like the over?
High-powered offenses. That's it.
Okay.
That's a good reason.
Dan Quinn, defensive mind. Michael Parsons on the other side.
That's whatever.
We'll see. All right, so you and I are on the Packers. Bam's on the over. We go to Sunday. No Friday football this week in the NFL. How many total plays do you have?
I'm going to go with 5.
Okay. So did you get a little squirrely after going 1-2 week one, and now you're abandoning the 3-play system? Are you trying to get on track and then you're going to go back to the 3 plays?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Go with your first one then.
Falcons, Vikings. We're going to take Falcons plus the points.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty good game by the Falcons, even though it was a loss. Outgained the Buccaneers by a good amount of yards there. And then the Vikings, I don't know. The Vikings are good defensively. They have a good offensive line. They kind of were able to establish the run there in the second half, and that kind of helped McCarthy. But when I just look at this game, I have Atlanta and the Bears pretty close to each other, and I think this game ends up being close like the last one.
Okay. All righty. My first one, we're going to go Jaguars and Bengals. I'm going to go over. I'm going to see what the best number is. It was a really tough offense performance for both teams. Like we just talked about, the Bengals had 7 or 8 yards in the second half. Trevor Lawrence is doing his patented miss open wide receivers and this and that. Best number is...
Let's say you get 49.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll go over 49. A lot of weapons on both sides of the ball, like Bam's logic with the Packers and the Commanders. I think that you're going to see a more concerted effort to get the ball to Brian Thomas. I think the Bengals defense is not very good. I understand they held the Browns to whatever in the teens. The Browns stink. That's really what it boils down to. Their best offensive player was fucking Harold Fannin Jr., who's a rookie tight end out of wherever he went, Bowling Green. And I think you're going to see the Bengals offense get back on track here. There's just too many weapons. That's really what it boils down to. You have 2 of the best wide receivers in football, the best quarterback, and then I think Trevor Lawrence and that Jaguars offense will be able to put some points up on the board. So we will go Bengals, Jags, over 49 as the first play for Sunday. What is your next one?
Bills, Jets.
Okay.
We're going to go Jets plus 7. I think The Bills are good. I think what separated the Bills and kind of made them a contender last year was the defense being able to generate turnovers. And I know they got the big fumble there at the end, but I just think it's kind of tough. I don't think their defense is really that good here. I think the Jets are going to be able to run the ball. I think, I don't know. It's going to be tough, right? Because the Bills look improved offensively. Like,
It's
Keon
just
Coleman
scary.
looks like a different player than he was last year. Shakir is still very good.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer. So they have weapons, but I think the Jets can keep it close here at home.
I do as well. I'm also on the Jets. No, I think it's a serious problem. That was my biggest takeaway until the collapse from the Ravens was that the Bills are struggling to stop the run. And I understand the Ravens are one of the best teams that run in the football, but you got Breece Hall, you got Braylon Allen, you got Justin Fields with his legs. They were getting 3 or 4 yards before contact. So the Ravens averaged over 8 yards a carry. It was an alarming amount of success running the football that the Bills are going to have to shore up pretty quickly, or else, the Jets are going to be able to stay inside this number, and I think they will. So we'll take +7 with the Jets at home in a spot where you really should have just beat the Steelers. Morale's got to be high over there right now. I thought Justin Fields played a pretty good game, and I think he is fucking fast. When he starts running, he's able to do some stuff with his legs, and like we just said, it was 8.2 yards per carry you let the Ravens run. So, I will take the Jets +7 as well. Bam, how many total for the NFL do you have?
I have one more and then my lock.
Okay, go with your one more.
Going to Denver Broncos at the Colts. I'm taking the Colts plus money at home, +1.5. Broncos didn't look that good to me, didn't wow me. The Colts look really good, and getting points at home, I'm going to take that.
Okay. Alrighty, I am going to the Ravens that we just talked about, and I'm going to lay it. What are your thoughts there? Got any?
No.
The Ravens, I think that was an utter collapse. I still think the Ravens are the best team in football. I think the Browns are bad. After 1 week, after watching that, my takeaway for 90% of that game was, holy shit, the Ravens are head and shoulders better than everybody else in the league, because if they're going to do this to the Buffalo Bills, they're going to do even worse to everybody else. And then that all came crashing down. That doesn't mean that I don't think that the Ravens are going to come out here and beat the fucking brakes off the Browns. I understand you got Flacco, and he's probably not going to blah, blah, blah. He's going to make mistakes. I think the Ravens defense is very good. You got a lot of prevent yards there at the end and allowing them, just trying to not lose the game, and that's what happens when you play prevent. You lose the game. It looks like the best number we can get is 11. They have a juice 10.5. So, we're going to go Ravens -11, a team that started 0-1. You can't go 0-2 in the NFL, or else your chances of doing anything significant in the postseason or getting to the postseason at all drastically reduce. I'm going to lay it with the Ravens here. I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Browns. So, you think it's a square play?
No.
Okay. What is your next one then?
Panthers, Cardinals. We're going to take the Panthers +6.5.
Okay.
I wasn't
Crazy.
all that impressed with the Cardinals, even though the Panthers.
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah. I'm not saying you're crazy because the Cardinals look good or anything, but fucking Bryce Young look like shit.
I think the Panthers' offense is much better than what they showed in the first game. Really funky first game. I'm betting that they're better than that. We'll see.
Yeah.
I also would advise maybe to wait around and see if 7 pops up, but right now it's 6.5, so we'll go Panthers +6.5.
Okay. I am going to take. We're going to Seahawks and Steelers. I'm going to take 3 points on the road with the Seahawks. I got to see it again from the Steelers. It was a weird game. I felt like, look, I don't think the Steelers' defense is as bad as what they showed you in allowing the Jets to score over 30 points. But I think the Seahawks have enough weapons to go toe-to-toe with an offense that I got to see it again. I just think getting 3, I'll take the Seahawks here. Another example of a team that lost and an 0-1 versus a 1-0 team. I'll take the Seahawks +3. How many more do you have before you lock?
None.
Okay. Good there. I'm good there. Good there. Good there. I got one more and then my lock. See what your thoughts are on this one. We're going to go to Monday night, and we're going to lay 2.5 points with the Houston Texans. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
You like Baker, though.
Yeah.
I don't think Baker played well. I think Baker, we talked about it and we saw it firsthand. Baker put the ball in harm's way multiple times. The key concerns for the Texans are still, just like last year, the offensive line, especially the right tackle. He fucking stinks. So the Hassan Reddick matchup with their right tackle is worrisome. The Texans will be without their starting center. Also worrisome. I literally wrote down 2 things. Starting center out, right tackle is ass. CJ Stroud at home, again, the trending theme is an 0-1 team versus a 1-0 team. The Buccaneers, primetime game, back-to-back road games, Texans back at home. I didn't think that Baker looked very good. You've got some shuffling and some injuries on the offensive line for the Buccaneers as well. If anything for the Texans look good and is good, it is their pass rush and their ability to get into the backfield. I think you're going to see that here. I was higher on the Falcons, lower on the Buccaneers. I'm not going to switch that yet. I'll take the Texans minus 2.5 on Monday night. All we have left is our locks, correct?
Yeah.
All right. No such thing as a lock, but if there was...
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
My lock of the week is the Atlanta Falcons. J.J. McCarthy sucked for over 3/4 of that football game, and now he's going to come out and lay 5 points on the Falcons. Let me see what the best number is. It's 4.5 now. My lock of the week is the Atlanta Falcons plus 4.5. Drake London, is he going to play? I'm not sure. He may be out. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy after what I saw from a total collapse of the Bears. The reason why the Bears lost that game is because Caleb Williams stinks, not because J.J. McCarthy put the team on his back. All of a sudden, they started being able to run the ball, and they got the ball back and gave him opportunities, and he took advantage of those opportunities, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be able to come in and win by more than a field goal against the Atlanta Falcons, who have a ton of weapons and an okay defense. So I'll take the Falcons plus 4.5 as my lock of the week. Sunday Night Football, I believe. We're going to try to go back-to-back locks on a Sunday Night Football. What is your lock of the week?
Rams Titans. We're gonna lay 5.5 points with the LA Rams. I just think this game stylistically is a nightmare for Tennessee Titans. They don't really have a whole lot of weapons over there on the offense, and this Rams pass rush I think creates a ton of problems for the rookie. Also, the Titans really didn't defend against the run very well against the Broncos. I think that's kind of, the kickstarter to this Rams offense is getting that run game going. So we like the Rams here.
Okay. Bam, what is your lock of the week?
Going to 49ers at Saints. I am laying the 4.5 with the 49ers.
Okay. Do you know that Brock Purdy is questionable to play?
Yes.
Do you
but
know
it's a system.
It's a system? What does that mean?
Who's the
You
backup?
put anybody in there.
Okay.
Who's the backup?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it if you're betting. I will say I do think that if Brock Purdy plays, so that's what it's going to hinge on. If he does play, I think you're getting a good number. Just because Kittle's out doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're going to be horrible. I don't think they looked great against Seattle at all. I think Purdy stinks for what that's worth. I said they shouldn't have paid him, but they did. But if
Jennings went down too.
Yeah, I think he's going to play though.
Without Kittle, man, this team sucks.
Yeah, it's a ballsy play, Bam, I will say. But the Saints aren't very good. So the 49ers are still if Purdy plays, I think you're getting a good number. I think that's crazy for you to roll the dice on your lock with that. But hey, fortune favors the bold. Maybe it pays off for you. Did you know that he was definitely not playing? Be honest.
It's not definite that he's not playing.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Did you know that it was possible or probable that he wasn't going to play?
Yes, he has a questionable sign on my fantasy team.
Okay, good logic there. At least you checked your fantasy roster.
Good luck with Purdy as quarterback, dude.
He's my second string.
All right, that is Bam's lock of the week. That is all of our locks of the week. To recap, Thursday, we're taking the Packers minus 3.5. Then we're taking the Jets plus 7. The Ravens minus 11. The Bengals and Jaguars over 49. Seattle Seahawks plus 3. Texans minus 2.5 on Monday night. And our lock of the week is going to be the Falcons plus 4.5 on Sunday Night Football.
Packers minus 3.5. Falcons plus 4.5. Jets plus 7. LA Rams minus 5.5 as the lock. And Panthers plus 6.5.
Bam.
Going Commanders, Packers, Thursday night over 48.5. Colts versus Broncos, Colts plus 1.5, and the 49ers minus 4.5 as my lock of the week.
There you go. That is our best bets for college football week 3, NFL week 2, episode 232. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
Bam.
Nope.
Y'all have a good one. Hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. If I have another good week in the NFL, you're going to see me victory lapping this till the cows come home. But, yeah, y'all have a good one. Good luck. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this, could you? A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.